In this video, I'm going to explore the underlying reasons why project quality management is an integral part of project success. Why does this matter? Because understanding the core reasons why project quality management is fundamental to project success is going to steer your focus to these specific areas, and it's going to improve your performance at managing projects. Ultimately, your success as a project manager relies on your ability to identify the core things that you can do to improve project performance. And that's why understanding the specific drivers of why quality management relates to project success is critically important to applying project quality management effectively. In my 10-year career in the infrastructure industry, I've seen time and time again, it's not enough to just understand the theory. You need to understand specifically how the underlying theory of quality management, or any project management knowledge area for that matter, relates to project success, so you can focus on maximizing, putting your attention on doing more of the things that maximize your chances of project success. So there's three core reasons why project quality management relates to project success. These are avoiding errors, managing risk, and providing evidence to our client and stakeholders that what we've delivered matches the original requirements. So these are the three core drivers of project success through quality management. And these drivers are going to impact every domain of success on the project. So they'll impact the project budget, so making sure we deliver the scope for less than what we thought it was going to cost. They'll impact the perception and value created for our stakeholders, and they'll also impact the duration within which we complete the project scope. Okay, so exploring each of these reasons in a little bit more detail. Reason number one is that quality management helps us to avoid errors. So the goal of quality management is to check and verify that what we're creating matches the original requirements. Through the quality management process, we're going to identify and eliminate errors and ensure that what we're creating matches the original requirements. So assuming the original requirements were elicited from stakeholders correctly, and we've defined what the change we want the project to create is, through quality management, we're going to make 100% sure that the finished product matches these original requirements. By avoiding errors and non-conformances in the finished product, we're going to save money because we're not going to have to go back later and fix all these defects. We're going to save time because we're not going to extend the project schedule doing all this rework. We're going to improve the product performance so that ultimately the thing we build is going to better fulfill our stakeholders' needs and objectives, which is finally going to increase stakeholder satisfaction. So avoiding errors impacts money, it impacts time, it impacts the performance of the product and the satisfaction of our stakeholders. We can categorize these sources of errors into two main groups. So there's process errors, which is things like using incorrect drawings, following the wrong specifications, or there's product errors. So for example, terminating an electrical cable incorrectly and causing a fault. So project quality management and setting up and managing a quality management system is going to help us avoid errors by putting in place systematic processes that avoid us making process errors, doing staged checks and inspections to identify and eliminate product errors, and also putting in place a practical lessons learned and continuous improvement approach. So reason number two, that quality management is integral to project success, is through risk management. So what is risk management? Well, risk is the uncertain events or conditions that can impact a project. And risk is inherent to every single project. So projects by their very nature involve uncertainty. Project quality management and following a quality management system systematizes and puts in place a methodical approach to project delivery. So we put in place a staged approach to project delivery, we put in place checks, we do additional inspections, we pick up errors, and all of this is going to help us to manage and deal with uncertainty. This staged and methodical approach I've seen in my own career. I was working on a major road construction project early on in my career, and we're moving towards practical completion. So we're moving towards the end of the project, and we were getting ready to turn the power on to our electrical system. So it's part of a smart freeway, and we were energizing a new electrical system on the highway. Just before we were about to turn the power on, our supplier told us that they'd incorrectly installed circuit breakers in a series of the cabinets, and it was an absolute disaster because just before we were about to energize them, we found out that there was incorrect circuit breakers in several of the cabinets. However, because we'd gone through this methodical QA process while we were installing something, we had exact records of where every single one of these boxes were installed, so we could quickly go out and change them in a matter of hours. So instead of having to go through and check every single cabinet again, we'd gone through and recorded the location of every single item where it was installed. So as soon as the supplier told us, we could go and address this problem. And that's the power of quality management in addressing risk, because we've got better documents, we've got better records, we've got a better approach, a more methodical approach to managing the project, that when things change, when unforeseen issues come up, we're more ready to deal with them. Better quality management leads to more effective and better risk management because it helps minimize project variability, it reduces cost and schedule disruption, and it gives stakeholders more confidence in what we're doing. And the third reason why quality management is integral to project success is evidence. So through quality management processes, we document compliance to project requirements. Now, this evidence is critical to our stakeholders, our client, regulatory authorities, to prove we've done the work correctly. Quality documents provide critical project records such as inspection and test plans, defects registers, and evidence that we've closed these out, and records of handover walkthroughs and acceptance of certain portions of the project scope by our clients. Practically, this is important for several reasons, the most important of which is contractually and commercially. So if we need to get paid for the work we've done, if we ever get into disputes with our clients or subcontractors, records and evidence that work's been done correctly, the defects have been managed and closed out, is always going to be a critically important part of this process. It's important for insurance and insurance claims, and also it's important as part of safety and regulation. So we've got evidence that we've installed things correctly, we've got records of it, that we've checked things. It's also important for safety and any regulation. Okay, to summarize, quality is integral and intrinsic to project success for three fundamental reasons. Number one is that it helps us to minimize and avoid errors. Number two is it helps us to manage risk and uncertainty. And number three is it documents and provide evidence that the project is being correctly and successfully completed.